Let's take a look underneath the surface, kicking things off with Shift4 Payments, a relatively recent IPO from over the summer, ticker FOUR, a really nice gain today, up about 6.3%, clearing a downward sloping trend line after finding support at that 21-day moving average. What stands out here to you, Ken?
Well, the move today, and like you said, a breakout over a trend line, but you can see the personality of Shift4 Payments is that when it shows strength and hits new highs, it tends to back off soon after hitting those new highs. But this could end up being a setup day. Today, we're definitely looking at the stock's recent high of 64.35. Shift4 Payments has a lot of qualities that we like to see in the stock, especially it's a new issue, so it's could still be in the early stages of a move here. It's a payment processor and a very strong industry group. So, good move for the stock today. We'll see if it can, extend gains tomorrow.
Yeah, and profitability on the horizon looking to next year. So we'll keep an eye
out. Move here. It's a payment processor and a very strong industry group.
And last but not least, let's check in on our stock of the day today for FOUR, Shift4 Payments. Strong gain up almost 8% off of the highs, but still looks like it closed in about the middle of the range for the day and a recent IPO.
Yeah, and you can see that RS line was already hitting new highs weeks ago. So this was like really bullish in that regard. So, that was really powerful. Definitely would suggest reading the stock of the day because it's like, well, what the heck does this do? And I didn't know this morning. I should have known beforehand, but we did a stock of the day and they provide like a lot of stuff like restaurants. So QR codes so you could do payments, without touching anybody, contactless payments. And they just introduced something. Well, now customers could order through this system. So with restaurants coming back online,
right. A lot of takeout happening.
A lot of takeout happening and just not wanting to get in contact, passing money, even your card. That's just an opportunity that's really doing well here.
Yeah, it looks like it is a little extended now, but if it does pull back into the buy zone in an orderly fashion, or if it continues to hold these gains right here, we'll have to discuss on IBD Live where the next potential entry may be.
In this new age of social distancing, contactless payments are coming of age. Payment processor Shift4 Payments is feeding off this momentum. The company IPO'd this June and is locking in partnerships with some big names like the Las Vegas Raiders and Uber Eats. Stock's up 58% since its first day of trading ended. Joining us now to discuss is Shift4 Payments CEO Jared Isaacman. Jared, good to see you here. So your business is tethered to the fortunes of the hospitality industry. What are you seeing right now?
Thanks for having me on the show. And it's true. Shift4 Payments has around 200,000 customers across the United States, and a very large portion of them live within the food and beverage and hospitality industry. And in terms of what we're seeing, we've been posting data on Shift4Cares.com since really the heart of the COVID crisis. We're refreshing it daily, and it gives you a great indication of really where the low point was in March, and then the recovery we've been seeing since. And that recovery is split up by vertical between hotels, restaurants, and specialty retail, and it really goes down to the state and zip code level. And what we're seeing is generally pretty encouraging. So the country on a whole is still about 5 to 10% down from pre-crisis levels in terms of its payments volume. But when you start to drill in by states, you have states like Connecticut and New Jersey, which are largely commuter states. They're actually up year over year from where they were at pre-crisis levels. And then, certain states that probably depended on a lot of that commuter traffic, like New York and New York City specifically, well, they're still down. But by and large, especially from where we thought we would be a couple months ago, the recovery has been rather extraordinary.
Hey, Jared, can you talk to us a little bit about the opportunity you see in sports stadiums? Congratulations on the deal you struck with the Las Vegas Raiders football league. You're now the official credit card processing company for them. But what do you see there? How do you hope to grow the business within sports stadiums?
Sure. So Shift4 has branched out from our hospitality roots quite a bit. So, kind of interesting of note, one of our customers is Caesar's Palace, and inside Caesar's Palace is the Forum Shops, and they rely on a certain type of retail software. And that retail software was eventually sold into UPS stores, which is very much specialty retail and very far away from hospitality. But by virtue of our integration and the success we had supporting such a demanding and complex environment like Caesar's and the Forum Shops, we wound up branching out and picking up that, very significant enterprise UPS store business. Well, in the same note, a lot of the same
I want to talk about how this massive sell that we saw today could potentially impact the IPO market, because we've had big names.
It's also quite the day for a new company to be making its public debut. We're seeing that right now for payment processor Shift4. Shares rising 49% after opening to trade here at the New York Stock Exchange. Shares there were priced above the initial range of offering at $23 a share yesterday. That was above the expected range of $19 to $21. And now, of course, we're seeing shares trade quite higher than that, $34.28. For more on this, I want to bring on the CEO and founder of Shift4 Payments, Jared Isaacman, joins us right now here on the show. And Jared, first off, congratulations. I mean, this was a long road. You founded this company when you were 16 in your parents' basement back in 1999, now a publicly traded company. Before we get into the actual business, why not just start by talking about the decision to go public right now at a time like this?
Yeah, sure. And if I didn't have this mask on, you'd be seeing a pretty big smile on my face. To answer the question, we've been on this journey to go public for 21 years since we started the business. It was always our aspirations to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. My grandfather, who was a lawyer and incorporated the company, 21 years ago, was a lifelong public equities trader, and he always told me, the pinnacle for a business is to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So it's been a really long journey. We were prepared all through 2019. We were actually scheduled to launch our original roadshow in March, and obviously the COVID situation had to hit the pause button, as we focused on taking care of our employees and ensuring continuity of services. But we saw a recovery happening in the data. Shift4, processes payments for over 200,000 businesses, and in 2019 that was $200 billion a year in volume. We have tons of data, and we started to see the recovery, really in late March and through April, and then really accelerate in May. And that's what gave us the confidence to kind of reignite the IPO process and get it going. It's also why we weren't surprised today when we saw the jobs report, because it certainly coincides with what we've been seeing in the numbers for the last few weeks.
Yeah, let's talk more about those numbers that you have been seeing, though, because even in your S1, you highlighted the initial rebound there in terms of payment processing activity. What have you seen since that filing and how it's played out? Because obviously you guys are levered to a lot of restaurants getting back to normal to actually process and charge customers like it was normal.
Yeah, so we love the verticals we're in. We love restaurants. They've always proven to be resilient, throughout our 21-year history, even in the Great Recession, even post.com. And it turns out even during the darkest periods of the COVID pandemic. Don't get me wrong, there was a 2-week period of time there where, there was really no commerce going on outside of supermarkets or Netflix or Amazon. But these businesses, in testament to the small business owners and restaurant owners, to persevere through difficult times. We tried to help with online ordering and takeout and delivery and technology tools that we have, but I don't want to take away from their spirit, which really got us going. During the darkest periods, payment volume dropped about 70 to 75% in late March, but right now we're seeing a 120% recovery from that period. That sure looks like a V recovery to us. There are several states around the country that have cities that have reached pre-COVID payment processing levels, which is just a really encouraging sign for everybody else as we move forward in this recovery.
Yeah, and moving forward in recovery, how well positioned are you at Shift4 to kind of navigate the shift in technology that might be needed when we think about maybe contactless payments and the shift to maybe changing the way restaurants and other businesses, retail, think about actually having that usual relationship with the customer?
Well, Shift4 was one of the winners going into the COVID crisis. We've been growing our end-to-end payment volume, nearly 40% year over year for several quarters leading into the crisis. And that's pretty hard when you're a payments company for 21 years and have done payments the whole time. It really speaks to the strength of our value proposition, which is all about collapsing down, unnecessary layers of expense and reducing the effective cost of service for our customers. Now, that's a value proposition that was very powerful, going into the crisis. And again, it really rang true even during the darkest moments of the crisis. We've had technology for contactless payments and QR code-based payments and facilitating takeout and delivery orders. And we've been rolling that out for years. Our first foray into QR code contactless payments was back in 2014. So the company is incredibly well positioned, to help our customers during this road of recovery and adapt to whatever is that new normal.
Well, I got to say, it's paying out dividends here on your debut in day one. As I said, shares up by about 50%. Maybe it was worthwhile knowing that this recovery was underway with all the payment data you guys have. But appreciate it, and congratulations once again, Jared Isaacman, Shift4 Payments CEO. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Many thanks, as I'm humbled already by everyone's support. Appreciate you.
I'm just chilling.
Well, you get a free stock in your account that can be worth anywhere from $12 all the way up to $1,400.
It's free real estate.
Totally free. You can get a stock like Microsoft, Visa, Johnson & Johnson. All you gotta do is sign up for my link down in the description, sign up for Robinhood. All you gotta do is fill out some information about yourself and link your bank account, and literally that's it. That's all you gotta do.
out that like button, or smash the like button. Regardless of which metaphor you prefer, this small action really helps me grow the channel, and I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks. Have a great day.